my god, what a freaking show. Yo, I enjoyed Raw tonight. I enjoyed it. It had my attention all freaking night. Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jim, and welcome to Monday Night Raw Review, July 24th, 2017. Yo, Raw able to capitalize on SmackDown's failure last night at Battleground. Dude, like, seriously, like, I did not wanted to review Battleground. Like, I made up my mind during the Punjabi prison. Like, I'm not reviewing Battleground. I hope Raw was lit tonight, and it oh my god, tonight's show it just felt right to me. I just hope everybody else can like experience that, maybe not to 100%, but at least like get where I'm coming from. Like, tonight it just felt solid. It felt like I knew what was going on, you know? Like, I feel like Raw has plans, and they're gonna execute them eventually heading into SummerSlam. We only have 4 weeks until SummerSlam. Less than a month from now, because SummerSlam's on the 20th, I believe. You know, so Raw's looking okay, let's just get into it, bro. So I got home by 8:08. Luckily, because I went and got food. You know, I told myself I was gonna get food for today's show. I didn't do that last night, thankfully. When I got here, it was 8:08, and I see Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns didn't come out yet, but Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Kurt Angle in the ring, and they were talking about. I'm pretty sure they were talking about last week about Braun Strowman interfering. When I got here, actually, that's when Joe came through. That's when Joe came in the ring, and then that's when the segment kicked off. So yeah, they were probably talking about last week, and you know how Braun got involved, messed up the main event. Joe said, "Look, man, for your benefit, you're lucky that me and you never crossed paths yet. You know, since I got here, you know." But then last week happened. You know, then he introduced himself. He's like, "I'm Samoa Joe. I'm the guy who nearly had Brock Lesnar beat. I'm the guy who always put him to sleep. And I'm the guy that doesn't fear Brock Lesnar. And I don't fear you." And then, like, you know, later on, all I hear, I even sang the song because I knew he was coming out. The second I said, "Darn it." Perfect timing, Roman Reigns' music hit exactly when I said that, and then Reigns comes out, and then Reigns was like, "Bro, what the, y'all been here for a short amount of time. Look at what y'all done compared to me. What have you guys done? I'll wait." Exactly, that's what I thought. You see, I've been here for 5 long years, and I've done so much. You know, former tag team champion, which I'm glad he brought that up, because every time the commentators bring up Roman Reigns' accomplishments, they never or they barely mention Roman Reigns being a former WWE tag team champion with Seth Rollins back in 2013. So he said he's a tag team champion, former United States champion, former 3-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. You know, main evented 3 WrestleManias, which one of them retired The Undertaker recently. Been a part of 5 WrestleManias. Won the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia when that night was the most loudest I've ever heard a crowd been. You know, like, Roman Reigns was on point in this promo, and then, you know, he just shitting on what Joe and Braun have done, which is practically nothing. You know, Braun's been here for about at least a year and a half now. He debuted September of 2015. Remember that, when Randy Orton and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose were going through that feud with the Wyatt family at that point. So yeah, Braun debuted then. We all know Joe debuted back in January. So yeah, Roman Reigns is just shitting on them. You know, if John Cena was in that conversation, Roman Reigns will look like nothing. It would remind me of the Michael Jordan this little what do you call it? This meme, right? It's like Kobe won championships. Like, Kobe has a picture of him with his championships. LeBron has his picture with his championships, and then Michael Jordan has so many championships in the back. It's like, it's fucking hilarious. So I feel like if like Reigns is talking about his accomplishments, and you see John Cena, United States many times, a 5-time U.S. champion, tag team champion twice, or many times. Cena, a freaking 16 touch, Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, all that stuff, you know? Like, I feel like if Cena was a part of that conversation, it would be fucking hilarious. But yeah, in the end, Roman Reigns was about to start a fight with Joe and Strowman, and Kurt Angle was like, look, I changed my mind again. What will happen is at SummerSlam, it will be Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Universal Championship against Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman in a fatal 4-way match. And I was like, finally, a fatal 4-way match that I actually want to see. So they finally made the match official. Thank God. Joe got a little upset about it. She's like, Kurt, where you going? This ain't finished. This ain't over yet. I'm supposed to be the one that faced Brock Lesnar. I'm the one, you know, I can take out Brock. And then Kurt's like, bro, we're done. We're done when I say we're done. You know? And then in the end, Braun Strowman was like, look, I don't care if it's a 1-on-1, 2-on-1, or a fatal 4-way. Because in the end, all I care about is piling bodies. And then Roman Reigns is like, man, shut up. just decked him in the face. Braun caught him by the throat. Caught Joe by the throat. Roman and Joe were double teaming on Strowman. And then it led to a huge ass brawl, right? Between all three guys. And then it involved the security. Security didn't do shit. One of the security got launched like if there were freaking Jazz from Fresh Prince, you know? When Uncle Phil tossed out Chaz out the house, it was exactly like that. All you need is a sound effect, it'll be blessed. And then that didn't work out, so then he brought the roster. The roster came through. The roster barely made a difference, and in the end, I think Roman Reigns speared Strowman down. Roman was standing tall, I think, and Joe was being held back, but Braun was slowly getting up to his feet in the end. So, whew, yeah. And then later on, actually, in that brawl, the ring empties as Braun plants Roman Reigns with a power slam right after, and then Braun is the one that stands tall. So, damn. All we needed from that segment alone was Brock Lesnar with the championship on his shoulder or around his waist, and with Paul Heyman by his side, just standing at the stage, just watching three of these guys beat the hell out of each other, while he just standing there being all cocky as he is, you know? It's like, yo, it's like, you guys can fuck each other up. I'm just gonna capitalize and keep my belt, so it don't matter. I'm gonna be walking out champion after SummerSlam. Yeah, that's, if Brock Lesnar was there that night, that would have been another top-notch A+ segment to begin Monday Night Raw. And then they continued, right? They announced that Bayley would face Banks later on, #1 contender for the women's title. Also, the Miz Taraj versus Rollins and Ambrose. Sadly, in that render, Seth Rollins was wearing that attire he wore at WrestleMania. I really wish he kept that attire, or at least wear that for big match shits, like in big matches or big pay-per-views, you know. Maybe at SummerSlam he might wear that again, or get a new attire, I don't know. But yeah, Seth and Dean will take on the Miz Taraj in the handicap match 2-on-3. That was the main event. And also Enzo and Cass taking on Big Cass for again, but for the second time. And then we had a no DQ match coming up next. Samson versus Balor. This match, what a good no disqualification match. I really liked this match, right? Back and forth. Samson was being very you know, precise with his attacks on Balor's injured shoulder from the guitar shot last week, and also, you know, like just dissecting Balor as much as he can. You know, Balor would come through here and there in the match, but Samson was just on him. And then when Balor finally got momentum at the end of the match, hit the coup de grace, and then Bray Wyatt's freaking graphic shows up, and I'm like, what's going on? And then Balor got caught in the Sister Abigail by Bray Wyatt, and Samson, you know, crawling like he just been through a war, and then he puts his arm across Balor's chest for the win. And I'm like, that was a great match, and Bray Wyatt kind of ruined it. It's like, god damn it, Wyatt, god damn it. But in the end, Samson able to get the win over Balor in this little mini feud. I think this might be the end, or if not, they might do another match, and hopefully there'll be no interference. I don't know. But I can see that Balor might take on Wyatt at SummerSlam, which is not necessarily bad. You just gotta keep me interested, you know. So I mean, they gotta do better than what they did with Seth and Bray Wyatt. That's what they gotta do. That's their big thing when it comes to Bray Wyatt. They gotta keep me interested, because every time he talks, I'm a god. No, you're not. Wait, no, you're a god of eating pins. That's what you are, Bray. So you need to do something to keep me invested. That's just me, alright? So, after that, we go backstage. Renee Young was with Kurt Angle, announced that, you know, Jordan will make his debut later on against Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins, wow. You can take that where you want. You can take that how you want. I'm just going to say Kurt Hawkins, wow. You know, like, did I say that in a good way or a bad way? I don't know. But yeah, Kurt Angle is talking about butterflies, and then Emma comes through, and she's like, you know, since you know, it's great that you found out Jason Jordan's your son and all, but when is the attention, you know, gonna come back on me? You know, I'm the one that started the women's revolution, which is true. I did go back and watch NXT like weeks ago, and I do remember watching that Paige at Emma match, and holy shit, you know, and then. You know, she brings up how, oh, people that looked up to her, like Banks and Bailey, get opportunities, get all the opportunities, and what do I get? Nothing. You know, maybe I might get noticed if I start dating your son, Jason Jordan. I'm like, yo, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I mean, I know Jason Jordan's a man, you know, but yeah, for you to say that to a man who just found his son, storyline wise, you know that. Come on. I'm surprised Kurt Angle didn't get triggered right there. He's like, you know what, fine. You will get noticed tonight when you take on Nia Jax. And what happens? Emma got destroyed. She tried to fight, but in the end, Nia Jax destroyed her. And Nia Jax made my eyes nearly pop out of my fucking eye. Like, out of my eye holes. Out of my eye socket. She nearly popped my eyes out of my head. Literally, I'm watching the match. I'm like, alright, a little match going on. Nothing much. And then, Nia Jax took it upon herself to do a flipping senton. And I mean a flip senton. Literally, like, she did a senton. So, I guess the Hogan leg drops was not good enough. Holy crap, dude. So, yeah. We get to Enzo Amore walking backstage. Big Show had to shave his damn beard off. God, come on, Big Show. Come on, you look like the same Big Show 2 years ago, just that you lost weight this time. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. But yeah, he goes to Enzo. He's like, are you sure you want to do this? Enzo's like, look, I need to do this. I need to show Big Cass that he made the biggest mistake of his life when he turned his back on me. You know? Enzo goes on and said that he's going to bring the fight to Big Cass. No need for Show to worry. So then after that, we have Enzo taking on Big Cass. Enzo gets on the mic, you know, cuts a promo about how, you know, when it comes to passion, he has a full tank of it, you know, something like that. And then he gets to his catchphrase. Big Cass comes through. Big Cass, you know, beats the crap out of Enzo like always. Enzo tried to fight, but in the end, Big Cass just beat him up. This is practically a rerun from Great Balls of Fire, just a little bit more fighting Enzo. And in the end, Big Cass got the win with a devastating big boot to the face. And then Big Show came through after Big Cass got the win, and Big Cass actually threatened that he will snap the neck of Enzo if he came through. He came in the ring. Big Show's like, bro, chill. What does Cass do? Cass tosses Enzo towards Big Show and socks him in the face with a boot, and then just beats up Big Show. I'm like, yo, that was a smart move by Big Cass. I give him that. I'll give him that. Big Cass got that win. Got that that double win against Big Show and Enzo Amore right there. That was nice. That was a nice thing to see. Then we have Renee Young backstage. Hold up. I noticed something now. Why is Renee Young on Raw? I thought Renee Young was a SmackDown announcer. I'm pretty sure, like, when the brand split began last year, I swear we saw Renee more on SmackDown than Raw, and then now she's coming over to Raw. I guess talking smack is no more. That she got to be coming on Raw and be doing backstage interviews. What happened to the thick, nice, beautiful Charlie Caruso, or the other one? The other one, I forgot her name. Forgot her name. Fuck it. Anyways, Renee Young is backstage with Alexa Bliss. She asked Alexa, who do you prefer defending the title against, Sasha or Bayley? Bliss says she ain't worried about SummerSlam. She says the entire universe will see the friendship between Banks and Bayley destroyed tonight. Team Gag Reflex will implode, all for a chance to lose to her at SummerSlam. She goes on and says Sasha won't be the winner and Bayley won't be the winner tonight. The real winner is Bliss. So then after that, I already talked about Nia versus Emma. That nasty senton. Really not over that yet. And then Charlie, speaking of Charlie, she's thick, I know. Charlie Caruso backstage with Akira Tozawa, showing clips about last week, how he wanted a match with Daivari. I spelled his fucking name wrong. I spelled his name wrong on Twitter. Holy shit, I spelled it wrong twice or many times. And then like his shoulders taped up, he got beaten up, and then he wants a rematch. And Titus walks in and he's like, look, to be honest, I went to Kurt Angle. I went to the doctors. They said you will not be competing at the match. Canceled. I'm like, at first I was like, yes, thank you. I'm not in the mood to see Cruiserweight. I'm not in the mood. And then Tozawa was like, no, fuck that. I want my match tonight. I want my rematch. Screw you. And then they're arguing. They go to the ring. They come back. You know, Tozawa cuts a weird ass promo. I barely understand what he said. All I remember him at least saying was, Daivari, you come out here and face me. He said something else, but I just don't know. And then Neville comes through, and Neville was like, look, man, all I see is a pathetic person, alright? I don't know why you're still standing in the ring, alright? I don't know why you're even there. And then Tozawa didn't like Neville talking shit to him, and then Tozawa just dropped him. He dropped Neville, went to the top, hit him with that senton, which looks nasty. A lot of sentons tonight. And then Daivari comes through, unloads on Tozawa. Then Daivari got Neville and drops him as well. Yo, and by the way, Daivari did the soda twist. Y'all know that move in the video game where, like, you know, it got the arm behind your back and you got the other arm over and then you just clothesline him? Yeah, the soda twist. Daivari, where were you at all this time with that move? I love that move though. I'm not gonna lie. Daivari makes that move looks devastating. I wish he used that more often. And by the way, I didn't notice. Someone told me on Twitter they did it last week. I didn't notice that they got rid of the purple ropes. At first I was digging it, and then now I realized, yeah, I don't see the point of it. So kind of good they got rid of it. That's a good start. 205 Live is next. 205 Live. I used to watch it, now I don't. 205 Live is next. Once they get rid of that, the Cruiserweights. Let's hope. Banks and Bayley backstage. You know, Banks is upset what Bliss said earlier, calling her a troll. And then, you know, Bayley's like, look, don't let that get to you. Focus on the match. You know, Sasha's talking way over her head. She's looking forward to SummerSlam already before the match even happened. How she's gonna face Bliss at SummerSlam. And Bayley's like, whoa. Focus on tonight, alright? And then Banks is like, what do you mean by that? Well, I want the title as much as you do, okay? Chill. And so I felt tension. Banks felt like, Bayley, you don't understand. I need this win, you know? And then, like, there was just tension. I felt it. In the air, you know? And then after that, they mentioned SummerSlam. How Brock will defend the Universal title at SummerSlam in a Fatal 4-Way match. Oh, I wish SummerSlam was here right now. And then we're backstage with Jason Jordan again with Renee Young. I know she's beautiful because she's from Toronto. She's Canadian, duh, right? So she's backstage with Jordan, talking about his debut. Look, Jordan said he was grateful for the opportunity, you know, saying that he idolized Kurt Angle, and to find out that it's his father is really unbelievable. Look, this promo was hard to watch to me, alright? Look, I give him credit that he tried, you know. It felt and looked difficult for me to listen. I'm like, look, I know you're nervous, you know, like you're in a big spot where you know you can't fuck up, because if you fuck up, it will end your career before it even starts, you know. Like I already could tell how Jordan felt in that little segment, so it was difficult for me to watch this little promo. And then after that, we go to Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, you know, talking about, you know, how they're going up against the Miz Taraj. You know, Rollins would have come up with a game plan, but Ambrose is like, nah, I'm not interested. I'm gonna just go out and do what I do best. You know, Rollins is like, get your ass kicked by 3 dudes. Yeah, that felt like crap, don't it? Like, look, let's just go out there. All right, we have 3 dudes that we have to worry tonight, and then Ambrose is like, nah, like you have 3 dudes to worry about. I have 4. I'm like, damn. You really can't trust this motherfucker. You really can't trust Seth Rollins, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's only been 3 years since that happened, or 4 years since that happened, and you just can't let it go. I'm not talking about the song. Like I get it. I really do get it. You know, your friend, you were practically brothers, and then he stabbed you in the back for money, fame. Well, he did do something right, though. I mean, at least it benefited him to where, like, he went on to win the main event of WrestleMania by cashing in to become the WWE champion. Held the title for many months. Been in great main events at points, you know. I'm not saying the backstab was a waste, you know. I mean, you gotta look at it. So, but at the same time, I don't blame Ambrose. You know, it's like why is this guy being all nice and try to be buddy with me? Yet not too long ago, this guy called me a waste, a cockroach. You know, try to put me out through cinder blocks. Like, you know, like, I don't blame Ambrose. So after that, we have Bayley versus Banks. I thought this was the main event. I thought they're gonna put the women in the main event because this felt really important. But I guess this 2-on-3 handicap match was more important, I guess. Solid match to me. At the beginnings felt solid. You know, count after count after counter. It just felt good to me. You know, both try to go for covers and then both kicking out. Bliss was not a ringside, but on commentary up on the stage. You know, great match between the two. And in the end, Sasha hits the frog splash, got the cover at a 2 count. Bayley able to turn it around like John Cena would do after he gets hit with a crossbody. You know, he turns it around into the attitude adjuster. You know, Bayley did the same thing, but she pinned her down, and then she got the 3 count. Now, when she won, I'm like, yes, because I saw the look on Sasha Banks' face. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that didn't just happen, right? And then come to realization, it did happen. You know, like, that look on their face, like, I really wanted the fucking match. And then Bayley had to get in my way. And then she beats me! You know? It's gonna be a sign of anger and frustration that she couldn't beat Bayley, and also maybe jealousy at the same time. And then it's gonna catch on. It's gonna get into her head. Maybe Bliss might be the factor to make Banks go against Bayley and, you know, maybe interject herself into this match. Because I don't see Monday Night Raw's Women's Championship being a one-on-one. I really don't. If SmackDown is doing it at SummerSlam, I don't think Raw's gonna do it. Raw's gonna try to top it with at least a triple threat. Because I don't see Nia Jax involved at all. I don't see Emma involved. I don't see Dana Brooke. Not at all. You know, Mickie James, where's she at? I don't know. You know, so I'm just saying what I think. So I think it will be a triple threat, not a fatal forward like everyone else is talking about. I think it's a triple threat. I think Banks is gonna turn, and then she's gonna do something to prove herself that she deserves to be in this match. And yeah, that's what I think. So yeah, Bayley becomes the number 1 contender. Bliss goes to the ring. raise the title up high, you know, all that jazz. I thought Banks was gonna smash Bayley in the back of her head right at that moment, because I'm like, that's a good setup. Bliss comes through, gets in the face of her new challenger, and then Banks, out of frustration, just gets in the ring and just clobbers Bayley. That's what I thought, but that didn't happen. After that, we again with Renee Young, with Kurt Hawkins getting comments about his match with Jason Jordan, and then Kurt Hawkins like, I don't give a I don't care about Jason Jordan. Like, that's all I heard. Jason Jordan, I'm tired of hearing Jason Jordan all week. You know, after tonight, after I beat him tonight, everybody's gonna be talking about me, Kurt Hawkins. Face the facts, you know. Jesus Christ. And then they show up a video package about Special Olympics out of respect. I did not watch this because, I don't like it when WWE does things like this and they show. I know it's a good thing. I'm watching Raw. Raw's doing good. Keep the momentum rolling. Don't fuck it up. You know, so I had to shut that off and be like, okay, come back from commercial break. Kurt Hawkins, Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan comes up with the American Alpha theme. I thought he would get a new theme or a Kurt Angle's theme song, since he is his son, storyline wise, you know, that's what I thought. So, nope. So I hope Chad Gable, either he's gonna keep the same theme or he's gonna get a new theme. I think the Alpha theme fits Chad Gable more than Jason Jordan to me. That's what I think. But yeah, decent match. You know, Jordan looked impressive. Hawkins tried to hold his own, but in the end, Jason Jordan, you know, kind of did, you know, what he normally does, but this time in a one-on-one match. Jason Jordan, you know, manhandles him at the beginning of the match, but in the end, like I said, this does what he does. You know, the straps come down like Kurt Angle would do, but normally Kurt Angle will go for the ankle lock. He went for the spear in the corner, and he hits. Normally, after he hits the spear, he will set up for the Grand Amplitude, but he hits the back neck breaker or back suplex into a neck breaker. Nice combination move by Jason Jordan. Never saw him do that on his own, but yeah, nice there. 3-hour show. As a reviewer, this is difficult, but yeah. We come back from break. We see Charlie Caruso again with her thing. And she's in the ring introducing the Revival. Revival comes through like, look, we're that good. We know what you're gonna say before it even comes out of your mouth. We're professionals. You can go. Thank you. We thank you, Charlie. And then she leaves with her thing. And then they bring up how, you know, they're professional. Sorry, they bring up how they sent New Day packing to SmackDown. They bring up, you know, that they beat up the Hardys. They done this, they done that. The Good Bros, the club, comes out, getting a tiny bit of a babyface reaction, you know. And the club was like, look, we done things, we done all what you just said, but we did it first. Beat up the Hardys, done. Beat up the New Day, done. You know, tag champs, we done that, you know, like, and then being bald, we done that, you know, stuff like that. You know, that's basically what they said, and then called the Revival nerds. And in the end, they had their match. The Revival won. The Hardys actually got involved. The Hardys actually distracted the club, and then the Revival able to hit the Shadow Machine, got the win. The Hardys came through, brawled with the Revival. Matt and Jeff about to hit the Twist of Fate and Swanton combination, but after Jeff was going to go for the Swanton, no avail. I think Scott Dawson saved Dash Wilder, or the other way around. So yeah, and then we get to our main event. By the way, Wale was at Raw. Fuck Wale, screwing the Usos out of that rap battle. You can go eat a dick, Wale. Anyways, we come back from Raw to the main event. Yeah, to the main event, we have Ambrose Rollins against the Mr. Rod. Solid main event. I really liked it. And, you know, from the beginning to the end, like, Rollins and Ambrose were working so good together at the beginning. And then, at the end, same thing. Same shit. Great action. And in the end, dude, Ambrose able to get the W over the Mr. Raj. I believe Ambrose hit the Dirty Deeds onto either Axel or Dallas or The Miz. I can't remember at this point, but he hit the Dirty Deeds, 1, 2, 3, after Rollins hit the high knee. Yeah, Rollins hit the high knee on Miz, Ambrose hit the Dirty Deeds, 1, 2, 3, nice win. Rollins even put all his hand out like the Shield back in the day, and Ambrose was like, nah, you good. And then he walks away, and that was Monday Night Raw. So I can't wait, dude. And they have a match set up for next week on Raw, main event, triple threat match, Strowman, Joe, and Roman Reigns, the big dog. So that was Monday Night Raw. Tonight felt it was a solid show. Raw, like I said, able to capitalize on SmackDown's failure, which was Battleground last night. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Raw? Did you really enjoy it? Are you like conflicted a little bit? Are you like, wait, Raw was good but SmackDown was garbage last night? What's going on? You know, like how do you feel? Leave your comments down below. Leave a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe if you're new. When Raw is good, you will hear from me. Trust. And hopefully, let's see if SmackDown can rebound from their mistake called Battleground last night. Leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Boy123Gym, and I'll see you guys next time. And I'm out. Later. You know, Ambrose really can't trust Seth. I mean, I don't blame him. You know, he fucked you over, curb stomped you onto a chair, curb stomped you onto a freaking cinder block. Alright? You know, I don't blame Ambrose, but he just gotta let it go. He really got. But how thick was Charlie Caruso?
We some southern boys with the farmer strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you could be next, you better give respect, cause ain't nobody breaking this